Imagine. Imagine supporting this game in the year of 2023. Imagine playing this game in the year of 2023 and defending anybody that gives it the criticism that it deserves. What's going on, everybody? Cryptix, and this is most likely going to be my last video on the topic, but don't worry, my haters out there, if you continuously comment about how good this game is, you might give me motivation to make another video on September 30th, 2023, when this game comes crashing down with no more support after that date. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, that is correct. Marvel's Avengers is not getting any more support by September 30th of this year. Now, before we get into the rest of the video, don't forget to drop a like, subscribe if you are new to the channel, and yeah, man, let's just get into it. So, Marvel's Avengers released in September 2020 when, we had the whole, I'm not even going to say the word, but you guys know what happened in 2020. Basically, everybody was locked down playing video games. So this game should have actually gotten, a good amount of peak players, concurrent player count, and should have had gamer retention, considering Marvel's Avengers, produced by Square Enix, was supposedly going to be a live service game that was going to last 5, 6, 7 years. It was meant to last for the entire console generation, meaning PlayStation 5's lifespan, meaning the Xbox Series X's lifespan, and it's pretty unfortunate that this game, did what it did, executed the missions and enemies the way they did, and also basically had a gatekeeping microtransaction mentality when it came to the good cosmetic items, alright? That is the main issue with this game, but we're going to get into some other crazy things like recycled animations and things like that. But when this game came out, it was supposed to be like one of those games that you could sit down, link up with your boys, play a couple of missions on co-op, and actually make your characters great. And once people started to realize that this is just a glorified mobile game, and don't worry haters, remember, if you comment, you might make me want to make another video. It is a glorified mobile title. In fact, more of the Marvel mobile games that are out there right now have more characters than Marvel's Avengers, and they both play the exact same way. Let that sink in. Alright, so yes, Marvel's Avengers is basically a looter shooter. You play co-op, you loot these loot boxes in-game, and you get these items that are supposed to make your player stronger, aka more damage, special ability boosts, regeneration boosts, you get the point. So I've played this game before, and I've actually maxed out, I think, Iron Man for the first year that the game was out. And unfortunately, once I started to notice this pattern, and yes, it did take me a while to really lose joy out of the game, but I was hoping that the developers, Square Enix, would actually be able to produce updates to this game that really made it worthwhile. And the only update that I could think of that was actually genuinely good was I think it was called the War for Wakanda DLC with Black Panther. Long story short, new enemies, new missions, new character. And that's the pattern that I expected Marvel's Avengers to do for the 5, 6, 7 years that the game was meant for with this live service timeline, right? And I was looking forward to it, especially playing the War for Wakanda DLC with Black Panther. That was a great update, and it did usher some players back in that were tired of the looter shooter, glorified mobile video game mechanics. And then once people finished the War for Wakanda DLC, there was nothing else to look forward to, with delayed timelines left and right. And the only thing that I looked forward to after that was seeing how Spider-Man was going to be incorporated into this game. And if you guys didn't see my video on that, that was probably posted over a year ago at this point. enough said. I mean, the character looked like a soccer mom with a stick up her yoga pants, okay? It did not look great. The character plays stiff. There's just no realistic movement with the character. Spider-Man was really hyped up to be a PS5, PS4 exclusive, and the character just doesn't look that great, doesn't play that great. And it's unfortunate because, they had a lot of time to actually develop that character. I'm not making any excuses for the developers here. Flat out, the company just crashed and burned after the War for Wakanda DLC. They released Spider-Man only to the PlayStation console users, which pissed off the Xbox users, meaning there was like some polarization with the game at that point. And then we got some additional characters, like I think before even Spider-Man was released to us, we got Kate Bishop and Hawkeye. I'm personally not interested in using those characters. I mean, bows and arrows, like what are we, in the 1700s? Like, I don't really care for those characters. That's just me. And then, yeah, Spider-Man came out, and then Mighty Thor and the Winter Soldier just came out. Now, that's a good amount of characters, you would think, right? But the problem is, most of these characters have some form of recycled animations with, one another. Not every single character has the same animations, but my point is, Mighty Thor, aka Jane Foster Thor, has similar animations to just, Thor Odinson, the OG Thor, right? Likewise with the Winter Soldier, there's actually a video clip, and I'm going to try to dig this up if I can. But the Winter Soldier has identical, melee animations, or melee, however you want to say it, with Captain America. They're literally like pound for pound, centimeter for centimeter, the exact same punching, elbow, kick animations. And that just looks to me like it was laziness on the developer's part. But the whole core of this entire thing, and the reason it did so poorly as a whole for a game, is because the game lost support after people realized that, oh, this is just a looter shooter, instead of just being, specific missions, specific storylines that we're going to, be updated with additional DLC, with, actual campaign missions. Once people realize that you're just playing co-op on the same repetitive missions, fighting the same repetitive enemies over and over and over again to maybe get lucky to get a certain item to make a specific character stronger, only then to again play the same missions and the same enemies over and over and over and over to get another item, hence making your character again stronger, and just, rinse and repeat. That's the cycle of this game. And once people realize that that's what the game is, it's not fun anymore, because you're just doing the same thing, right? As opposed to if this game had a linear story, which it did, but then also had additional storylines for specific characters, as well as maybe an end game storyline with, let's say, Thanos. Maybe they could have updated the game to have King as like, another enemy that's, the big baddie for the next DLC. This game genuinely could have gotten way more support and could have actually lasted 5, 6, 7 years, maybe even longer, considering Marvel has a ton of real life, MCU movie products coming down the line for the next 5, 6, 7 years. So this game really should have lasted, but unfortunately it did not. Now, the one good thing that's coming out with this game, or I guess coming soon, is by March 31st, you can basically get every cosmetic item for free. I don't know if that's a guarantee. You know how these gaming companies are. There might be some items that are still in the shop that you have to pay for. But as it says in this specific article, for the big fans and would-be new players, the silver lining in the news is how the team will handle the game's previously paid content packs. As a show of our appreciation for our economy, starting March 31st, 2023, we will make all games, marketplace, challenge card, and shipment cosmetic content available to all players for free. Every single outfit, takedown, emote, and nameplate will be free from this date onwards. So it looks like they did provide something to the fans after it's all said and done. But this is the problem with the gaming industry as a whole, guys. I'm going to keep it short, sweet, simple, and to the point. Game is hyped up with trailers. Game is released half-baked, meaning there are bugs, glitches, issues with the game as a whole. Game loses support within 2 weeks because fans are left dissatisfied with the product. Then game loses support, updates get delayed, so the actual financial support that is supposed to be the foundation for a live service game also crumbles underneath them. Then live service game has delayed roadmaps and little to no support from a developer perspective, and then loses support altogether. That's essentially how most of these live service products have gone over the past few years, especially with 2020 and what we went through there. Essentially, people are working from home, which could also lead to less productivity. It's just a dumpster fire when it comes to these live service products. So I don't know what it's going to happen, with the gaming industry as a whole, but I think we can safely assume that these live service games are games that you should not purchase on day one. As a matter of fact, you should wait a couple of years to see if it's actually becoming something great, where, Marvel's Avengers didn't do that at all. So I hope you all did enjoy this video. Don't forget to drop a like, subscribe if you guys are new to the channel, comment down below what you think about this situation, and I'll see you in the next video. I'm Cryptix, definitely going to save my money and get all of the cosmetic items for these characters on March 31st, and signing off.